Welcome to your free live coaching session. This is me, Angie, and I'm going to be your mind coach today. And we're going to move on to lesson 3. We have done lesson 1 and lesson 2 of the Tidy and Relax Your Mind course. If you don't have that course, you can still see that for free. There's a free preview there that you can go get if you are interested in that. But we're going to go over it today. And so if you want to follow along, you can log into your course if you've already purchased it, or you can go to tidymind.teachable.com and you can see it for free. Hey Robin, hello everybody who's joining me here live on Instagram. You can join live on Instagram for these lessons, or you can also go over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. It's called Tidy Mind. So let's get started. And today's lesson is talking about, and if you're new to me, we talk all about the mind. And that voice in your head that is talking all the time, that is controlling your actions and behaviors and your reactions to the things that are happening in your life that you would rather not have those reactions to, that usually just cause bigger dramas and bigger messes. That's what we're talking about today and every day. Anytime you see me on here talking, I'm talking about your mind and the misery and the suffering that it causes you. So let's get on with this. Lesson 3 of the Tidy and Relax Your Mind course. Change your language to it, not I. So over the past 3 lessons, we have talked about getting to know your mind. And in lesson 3, you can go back and review those if you want to. But in lesson 3, step 1 is keep your mind clear and tidy by knowing your mess maker, DJ Judge. This is what I'm calling the voice in the head, the roommate that we all live with, is that mind that is talking all of the time. I have given it the name DJ Judge. Why do I call it DJ? Because it is spinning records for you. It is constantly replaying records of the past or dialogue or commentary. It's talking to you about those things constantly. And so we want to look at those things that it keeps disturbing your emotional body with, and we want to deal with those things so that you can move away from them once and for all, so that they are no longer a problem. This week's focus, separating from DJ Judge. Each day we are, number 1, noticing feelings inside our bodies and writing them down in our boxes of feelings journal. Number 2, watch our language. Not I think or I feel, but DJ, my mind thinks, my mind feels. Put a reminder up someplace or wear a special bracelet. Be creative. So I don't know how have all of you been doing with that. Let me know how you've been doing with catching that, because it can be so tricky to catch it, especially if you've been really ingrained with your mind for a long time, thinking you are it. And it will be talking about something, and it will analyze things, and it will want to talk about other people and what they're doing and what they're thinking. And you're just sucked in. You are giving it your full attention, which means you are not focused on the things going on around you, the people going on around you. You are not able to live your life to the fullest and enjoy it because you're busy inside your head, living in your head. Thank you, Creasy. Living in your head with your mind. So how have you done? How have you been able to do when your mind's been saying, oh, I feel so depressed, and you're hearing this comment in your head, I feel so depressed, I'm just so anxious, I don't know what's wrong with me. What is wrong with me lately? That is your mind. You're tangled up in it. And if you don't separate out by what we're talking about in lesson 1 through 3, changing that language, my mind is saying it's upset about something. My mind is worked up about something. My mind has not been feeling good. My mind is feeling bad about something. My mind is saying that something must be wrong with it. My mind is trying to figure out what is wrong with itself. Or DJ, you can use either words interchangeably. So that is step 1 of what we're doing, of how we are separating out from this mind. And then we start to understand it and its tactics and what it does, and then we start to move away from it. But before you have any choice in that at all, we have to get very strong in not believing we are feeling whatever it says we're feeling, thinking whatever it says we're thinking, believing whatever it says we're believing. it creates problems, okay? And it'll say, but I'll never get over that. I'll never be the same. It's using the word I, so now it's engaging you, right? I'll never be able to get past this issue. And then in those moments, you say, my mind will never be able to get past that issue. My mind is stuck in the past. My mind will never feel better. My mind will never feel the same, which isn't true either. But what we're doing is we're separating out so you're not identifying with your mind. If you continuously identify with your mind, you have no choice but to suffer with your mind. Okay, so that's why we're separating out. So just stop for a second and think about some of the things that your mind has been saying using the word I. I feel, I think, I believe. What's it been saying? How has it been identifying you? That is what we're wanting to know right now, okay? So each day this week, we are noticing feelings inside of our body and writing them down in the boxes of feelings journal. What does that mean? Well, my mind is saying I'm anxious. Okay. So, how do we notice that anxious feeling inside of our body? When you hear your mind start to label you in that way, oh my God, I feel so anxious today, you stop and you rephrase it. Oh, my mind feels so anxious today. Well, what does that anxiety feel like, and where do I feel it in my body? And if at any point any of this does not feel safe to you, then don't do it. If you're scared of feeling into feelings and feeling what's going on into your body, it's okay. You don't have to. None of this is mandatory at all. And you're not going to mess it up if you skip a step, okay? Just you just do what you feel comfortable with. Okay. And I have a lot of clients who take this course to their therapist and they'll have them work through it with them because they feel safer in that way. And that's totally fine too. Whatever works for you. So notice the feeling in your body. If my mind is saying I'm anxious, well, where do I feel that? And you can close your eyes and say, if I had to find that anxiety in my body, where do I feel it? Maybe it's across your shoulders, across your back. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your neck or head or across your forehead. Maybe it's in your stomach. Usually that's somewhere around, right around in here is where we feel those emotions. So find it. And then I like to say, take that one step forward, but I don't have you doing that yet in lesson 3 because there's 30 lessons and we're building on this here. But I like to say, you know what? I'm just going to sit with it until it fades. What your mind will want to do is tell you stories about how horrible it will feed that feeling that it created. It will feed that feeling. And then it will keep those feelings going in your body by telling you a story. So if you're sitting there with the feeling, you kind of have to hear the mind in the background trying to keep that alive. Yeah, but this is serious. Yeah, but this is life or death. Yes, but this is a big deal. Yes, but this is overwhelming. It's like, no, I hear what you're saying. And I know you're trying to get me to give you my attention with that. But I'm just sitting with this feeling that you've stirred up in me, and I'm realizing it is just a feeling. And I'm allowing it to come up and out of my body and release it instead of believing your stories and storing it down in my basement in the box that you can pull up and use to disturb me and make me feel bad anytime you want. That is what we're trying to find, all those things and release those, but we don't want to create any more new ones, right? Okay, so today's practice, listen to part 2 of how to use the tidy mind. So this is, like I said, if you don't have the course, you can listen to this for free on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Tidy Mind, and the name of the video is called Tidy Mind How to Part 2. So you can just go to that and you can listen to that. All right, and it will tell you a lot more than I'm telling you here today. So step 2, make room for peace by tidying up and cleaning out the emotional clutter. Today's practice, continue to notice feelings as they surface. Imagine as these feelings flow through that the that the closet door in your tidy mind house has just opened and this feeling is blowing through your body. So notice any disturbing feelings that you may have going on right now. DJ will probably either, one, want to label the feeling, make sense of it, find the cause or reason. It has a very strong need to know and feel safe. Your mind will have and some of your minds have an even stronger need to know. You have to know why. Why is this happening? Where is this coming from? And your mind will convince you that you have to know. And so there it goes. If you listen to the white van analogy, now it's drawn you into that white van and you and it screech off into the dark trying to find the cause of this problem, and the cause of the problem is sitting right next to you in the driver's seat. But he says, oh no, it's not me. It's not me. Don't look over here. Don't look at me. We're going to go find out why you feel this. And it's the voice in the head, it's the mind that is causing that feeling that you're feeling, that it's now trying to take you off into analyzing and processing and figuring out why you feel what you feel. Does that make sense? Oh, Lord. It is something else. Okay, number 2, become afraid of, okay, so this is 3 reactions that your mind will have when it's having, when it's created a problem for itself and now it's in an emotion. It wants to label it, take you off, and let's go figure out where this is coming from. Let's go lose ourselves for days in analyzing and processing either ourselves or other people. A lot of us like to do this to other people. Yes, so it is the funny farm. It is insane. And I hope you're okay from yesterday. Number 2, become afraid of the feeling. Flight, panic, overreact, want to run away. 3, fight or deny the feeling. Fight, want to resist, blame, attack, or deny. So it's the fight or flight thing, or figure it out. Those are the 3 reactions that your mind will have to situations. I'm either going to fight it, I'm going to run from it and be afraid, and I'm going to stir up all this fear in you and take you off into fear with me, or I'm going to fight it. I'm going to attack this thing. I'm going to attack this person, or I'm going to attack you for whatever your part was in it. And you'll notice people, when they're possessed by their minds and they're having reactions from their minds, that's also what they do. They'll either shut you out, they'll run from it and shut you out emotionally and punish you or whatever, or they'll fight you or attack you. Or they will hermit, they will shrink down inside themselves, and they will analyze. And they'll process and analyze, and what went wrong here, and I wonder what she was thinking about that, and I wonder what he was doing about this, and I wonder what they were feeling about me, and I wonder what they're doing now, and I wonder blah, 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 blah. Analyzing him, that's my pit of despair. It's right there. Analyzing and processing. Until I realized recently through this work that was a very slippery slope for me. So when my mind starts that, and it drags me off into this people room of the tidy mind house, which you'll get to later in this course. As you listen to these audios that I'm talking about on YouTube, you'll understand the rooms of the house. But there's that people room, and it wants to analyze and draw you in to thinking about and analyzing other people. And it is such a waste of time. And it's not your business at all. What they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. What is your business? You. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What is your mind needing? What do you got going on? But a lot of times, especially if we have codependency, our mind will zero in and obsess on another person because that person has become the center of its universe, and it's now working on, what do I need to do to please it? What do I need to do to get its attention? What do I need to do to fix it? And that's when we draw that back in and say, no other person is to be the center of your universe. I don't care how much you love them, husband, wife, mother, father, child, dog, cat, I don't care. No other person is to be the center of your world. What is the center of your world? You your relationship with you, and your relationship with whatever God is to you. That's it. That is the center of, and what do I mean by center of your world? Where you pour your attention, where you pour your focus. Because if you make it about everybody around you, you're going to neglect yourself. You're not going to neglect that relationship. That relationship's going to become very dysfunctional, maybe even toxic and abusive. And then you're going to start looking for other people to fix that for you, to make you feel better. Or you'll look to substances, or you'll look to relationships, or you'll look to this, or you'll look to that. But you won't be looking in the right place. And whatever you use on the outside of you is a very temporary fix. It may be good in the moment, but it is not where you're lasting. That's not where your stability comes from. And you can, it's a solo journey, guys. I'm sorry to tell you this. We can walk beside each other. We can support each other. You can have spiritual teachers that point this way. Don't focus on that out here. Focus on this, you and your relationship with you and your mind and what you got going on in there. And your connection to source, not your connection to, notice how much your mind wants to talk about others around you. Just notice how much it obsesses about other people. And see if you can, just as a challenge this week, just draw that back in and say, no, mind, me and you. Stop looking over me as your caretaker. You're going to be learning how to be the caretaker if you're online here. Stop looking over me. Look at me. I know I've not known how to do this for very long. I didn't even know I was supposed to be your caretaker, but I'm realizing that now. Look at me. Do not get in the creepier fan. Don't get in the fan, guys. So it will want to analyze, it will want to fight, or it will want to flight. So it's going to run or fight. When you notice the feelings today and write the name of the feeling or description of the feelings in your boxes of feelings journal, the next step is out beside the name or description, write DJ, the mind's reaction to the feeling. What did it immediately try to do? So when you identified the feeling that you were feeling, what did it try to do in there? Did it try to fight it and resist it and explain it away? Did you try to fight it? Like, you as the caretaker can also want to fight with the mind. That is a dysfunctional relationship. We don't fight with each other in there. Okay? Especially if you're the caretaker, especially if you're coming from the soul space, you are the adult. We don't argue. We don't argue with children. That's one thing. I used to work in and I still will work there every now and then, in a all boys residential school, kids from 6 to 18. And I would see staff engage in arguments with the kids, and I'm like, why are you arguing with the child? They're a mind that doesn't know they're an injured mind. They are nowhere near living in their soul space. They're here because of that. So of course what they're saying isn't correct. But arguing with them is not going to make that mind, oh, you're right, ever. Ever. A mind is never going to say that. Oh, yeah, I see your point now. No, your mind is either going to fight or feel unheard and then create this resistant and hate relationship against you. Children do it too. So it's better to learn as the adult how to care for this mind. We're not going to fight with it and convince it to believe. You're not going to convince it of things. Now, once it starts to trust you, that you are the calm voice of reason, that you don't argue with it, you don't resist it, you accept it fully. As crazy as it can be sometimes, you accept it, but you're not arguing with it. Okay, if that's what you think. Okay. Then that mind starts to open itself. You are not going to force or pry or shove any information down a mind's throat. You're just not going to do it. Oh, thank you so much. You're just not going to. It just will not work. Your mind will either run or put up a resistance to that. It will fight or flight. The only way you can get a mind to open on its own is to just give it space to do that. Give it its own space for, oh, okay, I see. You're not going to make it come to that. And it's going to come to that through trusting you as the caretaker and seeing that you are such a stable person, that you are such a good and loving, and you always meet it with love, compassion, kindness. And a lot of us are having to learn how to do that. Maybe we had that with our parents, maybe we didn't. Maybe in our relationships with other people, in our initial love relationships, maybe we had it, maybe we didn't. But whatever mind we're around, we learn things and we learn behaviors, and then we start doing that to ourselves. And a lot of times it is abusive. It's critical. If you've got a critical mind, your mind probably picked that habit up from somewhere. This is how we're going to get things done. We're going to criticize you and shut you down and make you feel bad, and we're going to guilt and shame you and manipulate you, and this is how we're going to get it done. No, that's how you're going to create a very toxic relationship within yourself, and then that relationship is going to trickle out, and you're also going to have toxic relationships around you with other people. But as you start to correct that relationship within yourself, a magical thing happens. As you start to correct it within yourself, the relationships around you start to become healthier. And those that want to, those minds that resonated with the kind of relationship you had going on before, they just kind of disappear because you don't engage with them anymore. You're not playing the game with them. You are not fighting with them. You're not arguing with them. You're like, okay, you don't have to agree with me. You don't lose your cool with them. You meet everyone with kindness, compassion, patience, tolerance, but you first have to learn to do that inside yourself. And if you can't do it on the outside of you, that is a very good sign that you don't know how to do it on the inside of you yet either. Now, those things are big. What I just said, if you read the Bible, if you're into that kind of thing, those are the fruits of the Spirit. Those are the fruits of living in your soul space. Those are the actions. Fruits are your actions, how you act out into the world, what you put out, what you produce out into the world. Kindness, compassion, patience, tolerance, acceptance, and all of that is wrapped up in that lovely word that we call love, which I think is just full acceptance. And the mind's got all kinds of definitions of love and what it is, and the conditions that must be met before I can feel it. And the four, and you'll learn this here in this course too, the four big conditions of your mind that equal love to it: to feel seen, heard, wanted, and safe. I even have a coffee mug in my shop if you would like one. It changes colors and everything. To remind you of how to be a caretaker of your mind, what it is wanting. It wants to be seen, it wants to be heard, it wants to be wanted, it wants to be safe. Okay? Now let's move on. All right. When you notice the feelings today, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. Example, if you have excess energy running through the body, which DJ will call anxiety, DJ wanted to label it and make sense of it. Say what caused it and why it was there. So that's just an example of, I don't even know if that makes sense. DJ would want to label it. So that's what it did. If it found excess energy running through the body, it wanted to give it a label. So it either want to give it a label, it'll want to fight it, or it'll want to run from it. And sometimes it can do more than just one of those coping skills, but those are the three basic. Tomorrow we will work on what we will do with not tomorrow, but lesson 4. We will work on what we will do with the feelings to allow the air blowing out of one of the boxes in our closets to exit our body. So we don't want to hold this stuff in anymore. We don't want, that's how we're carrying the weight of the world. And we're carrying all of this stuff, and we need to release it and get lighter. And as those boxes in the basement become emptier and those emotions are allowed to blow through them, and we destroy all the stories that put the emotion back in the box, then it has no emotional charge over us. What does that mean? When something outside of us triggers that old pain, there is no old pain. There's nothing to come out of the box. There is no box anymore. We dealt with it. We dealt with that. And what is the box? What's the box made up of? It's a lie that you believed about yourself a long time ago that wasn't true. And now your mind has to have all these stories that support, see, it's true. See, it's true. This is true about you. This is who you are. Your mother labeled you as this, this, and this. And now all of your life you've had this box that is made out of a belief system. And then your mind creates stories. See, I told you, see, they said it too. See, here's the proof, here's the proof, here's the proof. And it has you looking for the proof that this is the truth. And it's a lie. And it is hurting you. It was not true then. It's not true now. But your mind is busy making up stories and creating stories to support that. And all those stories then create emotional pain when you believe it. When you believe a lie over and over and over and over again, I forgot what I was going to say. When you believe a lie over and over, you are creating emotional pain in you. You're going to feel that pain. It hurts. When you believe a lie, it is kind of like your automatic lie detector. If I'm feeling pain in my body over a story that my mind is telling me, that is a good indicator that you are believing something that is not true. That something, a box that was put there by some adult in your life, or maybe some situation that happened in the past, that was never true about you. You got that from some other dysfunctional mind that believed that about themselves, couldn't deal with it, and projected it onto you. Or there's a million scenarios of how you got that belief. And there it is, sitting in your basement. And now your mind is looking for ways life can prove that to be true. Even if consciously you don't want that to be true. You don't want that about you. It doesn't matter. Your mind believes it, and your mind's holding on to it. So your mind fuels it with the stories, which just creates more and more pain. And let me tell you what a trigger is. When somebody comes along in your outer life and pokes that box, and you're like, oh, or proves, your mind says, see, that's true. See, that's true. When it pokes that box, what that is life is not trying to hurt you. It's trying to show you something that you believe about yourself that is not true. It is giving you an opportunity in that moment to open that box and freaking burn it. Burn it. Throw it on my new husband burns everything. We live out in the country, so he's got a pile out back, and I swear that man burns everything. I'm like, you can't burn that plastic. You can't be breathing that stuff in. That's not good for you. He burns everything. If it's trash, he's done with it. Burn them boxes. So when something comes up around you that is not life trying to punish you or hurt you, that is actually life, the universe bringing, it's very brilliant in its design. It brings you those things. Your mind is trying to use it as proof that this belief is true. But what life is saying is, that hurts you. If that is hurting you, there's a lie there. Empty that box. Go down there in that basement and say goodbye to it once and for all. That's not true about you. Okay? The truth about you, the ultimate truth about you and me and everybody else, you're a soul. who is whole, who is complete, who is not broken, who does not need fixed, who is totally capable of love, who is open to love. There's no blocks in your soul. There's no damage in your soul. There's no nothing broken in your soul. There never has been. I don't care what has happened to you in your outer world. I don't care what's happened. It didn't happen to your soul because your soul is untouchable. Now, this is my belief. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. But I wholeheartedly believe this. Nothing can touch your soul. Now, what gets affected and infected and damaged and broken and thrown all around is that mind of yours, is that roommate, is that DJ. That's the part. And unfortunately, you have to live with it. You're there, you're buddies with it, okay? So what you want to do is this process of helping it to say, I don't want that story anymore that you're giving me that's going to support this lie that is hurting me. This lie is hurting me. Okay? Can we please do away with that? This is hurting me. Yeah, but it's true. See, here's all my proof. No, that all that proof, the thing that you're calling proof, was all the time that life came to us and was giving us one more opportunity to see that that was a lie because it hurt. And we didn't see it that way. I believed you instead of believing what the universe is trying to tell me. Anyway, step 3, appreciate your tidying work by noticing the moments of relief, contentment, and enjoyment. Today's practice, we have not yet released any boxes, so it may be too soon. Good God. Take 2. We have not yet released any boxes, so it may be too soon to notice moments of relief or contentment. Today, take 10 minutes and listen to the following meditation. The meditation can be found if you're not in the course, which I highly recommend you do. And if you don't want to, I think it's on sale still for $47. If you don't want to buy it, you can go in there and see it for $4.99 by signing up for the subscription plan. And you get more courses than that, and you get 3 audiobooks and lots of other content. So you do that by going to tidymind.teachable.com. So the name of it, if you don't want to go through that avenue, you can go to SoundCloud. It is free. Go to SoundCloud, and it's called Morning Surrender and Heart Space Alignment. So that is the meditation that goes with lesson 3. And that is it. That's it for today. I've got some moving to do. Oh my gosh, y'all. I got a lot, and I know a lot of you, if you're a Libra out there, you probably are moving too. Like a lot of us seem to be, a lot of us air signs seem to be changing locations in the world for some reason. I guess the wind is blowing us in other directions. I don't know. You're so welcome, Hawaii Live, and I'm so glad that for all of you who join me live and for everybody who listens to the replay and shares it with the other people or whatever you do with it. I appreciate you being here and taking time out to not listen to me, but to take care of your mind, to find that peace for yourself. Thank you, Robin, and thank you everybody who was here today. And yeah, that's it. All right, we will be, I don't know when. Hopefully I am moved completely by next Thursday. But hopefully I'll have a lesson 4 done before then. I hope. I may just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get it done though. All right. Yeah, Beth's moving too. All right, everybody. I love y'all. Good luck with everything. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much, YouTube.